They came from all over New England to compete for one goal. Hundreds of men and women chasing a dream. The chance to win a trip to Las Vegas and play against the world's best poker players on the world's biggest stage. Now the remaining players will fight for this opportunity of a lifetime to represent the Eastern Poker Tour in the World Series of Poker's main event. Welcome back to Season 4 of the Eastern Poker Tour Tournament of Champions. I'm Bernard Lee alongside Andy Kaplan, and we are down to our final 6 players. You know, Andy, in our first 3 seasons combined, we had only 2 women make the final table. However, in the final 6 players this season, we already have 2 women. Ashley and Robin are trying to make their mark and have definitely made an impact during this season.
Bernard, haven't you been paying attention? 2010 has been the year of the women, and I think it will continue this year.
Absolutely. Annie Duke has kicked it all off with her win at the National Heads Up Championship, Vanessa Selp with her NAPT win, and of course Liv Bovary over in Europe. Ashley and Robin are going to try to continue that trend here on the Eastern Poker Tour. Let's see where the chip counts are, and let's get down to the felt.
Now we're here with the final 6 players playing for their share at $30,000 and a seat into the main event for the World Series of Poker. Let's get back to the game.
Blinds have moved up to 5,000 and 10,000. And Ashley, who is one of the short stack, has decided to push all in with Ace-10 suited for 30,000. Really no choice here.
Oh, the silent assassin finally speaks and is all in.
Well, it is folded around to the big blind, and Robin with the mid pair. The race is pretty much on right now. Pocket sevens versus Ace-10. Ashley's going to need to improve to save her tournament life. The flop really is no help. 6 of spades, 4 of hearts, Jack of hearts. Queen of spades give her a little bit of hope.
That's brutal.
Runner to survive. Ashley was 1 foot out the door, being the 6th place finisher, but now she has doubled up to about 75,000 and now has at least a little bit more breathing room.
Now, Robin's been waiting for a hand for so long, finally gets a hand where she's ahead and gets runner to lose the hand.
Well, there have been very few women who have played at the final table for the Eastern Poker Tour. However, these 2 have battled all the way down to the final 6. Well, let's get back down to the felt. Blinds are again still 5,000, 10,000. And Skip, our original day 1 chip leader, is going to look down at his hand. He's going to raise with King Jack offsuit. Pretty solid hand with 6 players left.
30,000.
He's going to raise it 3 times the big blind to 30,000. Our chip leader will fold.
Hugh is dropping his chips.
Fold.
That's a pretty big stack Hugh has. He's accumulated some chips in the last few hands.
You have an all-in?
He's going to fold on the button. Well, Ashley is going to do the same thing she did last time. It's like deja vu all over again. She's going to shove all in, but this time, Skip has no idea that she's that strong.
48, right?
I'm sorry, 48, yeah.
Pocket aces are now slowly starting to show up as this final table is progressing.
I actually like Ashley's position here. She has her hand on her head, almost like she's worried that she doesn't have this big of a hand. You know, I would read that as weakness.
Well, Skip has made the call and potentially misread her like you did.
Nice hand.
And now Ashley is in a dominating position over Skip. Well, the flop is 2, 6, 7. 8 of spades will end the hand. Ashley has doubled up, coming from 30,000 all the way up to about 140,000. And I really believe this shows you that you never, ever give up in poker. If you can double up once, double up twice, you still have a shot and you can continue moving forward.
Are you sure Skip didn't win that hand? He had the same look on his face when he won the hand.
Skip
Okay.
definitely lost his hand.
He lost the hand.
As we said, this is becoming the year of the woman, and we'll see if either Ashley or Robin can continue their path and maybe end up the EPT Season 4 winner. Well, getting back down to the felt, the blinds are 5,000 and 10,000.
All in.
Well, Robin has declared all in.
Fold.
Well, she is very confidently putting out her remaining 44,000 chips with
44.
ace-king offsuit. Ashley has looked down at another monster hand, jacks here, and this is a really great opportunity. Wow!
That's a fast lay. Wow, she did not like that hand.
That is a very, very surprising
Hot
fold
potato.
there. Especially because she had just tripled up, basically. And here's an interesting thing. Bill now will shove all in.
Fold.
Ashley would have been in great shape against these two hands.
Nice hand.
Of course, Robin flips over the ace-king versus Bill's ace-queen.
44.
Well, Robin flops a monster. Absolute. And now it looks like Ashley had a great premonition. She is now doubled back up to over 100,000. A pretty big hand. And, you know, now we look backwards in time. Ashley makes a fantastic laydown. Of course, who would have known? I think that she really should have shoved. Based off of the math, based off of everything she's done, she probably should have shoved there. But very surprising that she lays it down.
Maybe because it was Robin. Maybe because she's been playing so tight, hasn't played many hands. She was thinking maybe she was dominated.
In hindsight, we'll see if that move by Ashley will propel her. And this huge hand by Robin, let's see if she can take it down. Both women are doing extremely well here on the Eastern Poker Tour Season 4. Let's see if they can keep it up and end up taking this down when we resume here on the Eastern Poker Tour's Tournament of Champions.
Visit EasternPokerTour.com to see how you can be at the next final table.
I think I fear the big chip stacks the most, just because I know that they can call me with looser hands and the chances of them catching it are probably higher.
There's nobody that I'm worried about at the final table. It's all going to happen the way it's supposed to, you know. I'm just going to play my game and we'll see what happens.
There's not anybody at the table that I fear.
I respect them all. I played with, you know, almost all of them, but I respect them all. I know how they play.
It's more the short stacks you have to fear. Because I think, like me, they're going to all be in, so it could come down to a 50-50 between the three short stacks, 50-50, whether you win or lose.
I fear the chip leader the most. I don't know who he is, but he's got an awful lot of chips. And that stack's just scary to look at when you only got a few left, so...
There were some people earlier in the event that had some reputations of being aggressive players. I think at this point, you just got to play your chip stack, and you can't let what you know about somebody you don't know about somebody affect your decisions. You just got to play the cards that you're dealt, and hopefully they pan out at the right time.
Welcome back to the Eastern Poker Tour Tournament of Champions. We said it before, we'll say it again. 2010 is slowly becoming the year of the woman, and Ashley is trying to make her mark here on the Eastern Poker Tour.
So Ashley's doing well?
Absolutely.
I pick Ashley. Skip, no longer. I'm going with Ashley.
Well, I'm going to stick with Stan, but Ashley definitely has the momentum.
Actually, it is.
Let's get down to the felt and see what happens. Blinds are still 5,000 and 10,000 as we resume play here at the final table. Ashley will fold, and the action has been folded over to Bill. Bill has been fairly quiet, not many hands played, sitting on the button. And as he said previously, aggression is his move, and he picks up a pretty decent hand here with King Queen. No reason why he shouldn't have raised here. I like the move. He's pushed all in with King Queen suited. Well, unfortunately, the hand of the hour, Robin picks up aces as well. We have seen aces repeatedly here.
Looks like Bill is headed back to Quincy.
Two Massachusetts players, Robin from Mansfield and Bill from Quincy, are going head-to-head here, but Robin is dominating the hand and really can get right back into the thick of things. Bill has hope now. He flops a queen.
Yep, he's saying give it to me.
Oh, my.
Oh, and it comes.
Unbelievable. That's just so unfortunate for Robin.
That's
Robin
sick.
has had two horrendous beats back-to-back. Runner for a straight. Now King Queen versus her aces. You can see the disgust, absolute disgust in her eyes.
Well, the Verizon technician lives to install another bad beat on his opponent.
Unfortunately for Robin, this may be the end. Their chips are very, very close to each other. And unfortunately, she may be taking her Dronky home with her.
50, 62.
Robin has played extremely well over the last couple of hands. She played very passively at the beginning, but unfortunately for her, this is the end for her, eliminating her in 6th place. Well, after that crushing hand to Robin, we are down to our last 5 players. The button is on Stan, our chip leader, still with blinds with Paul and Ashley.
Fold. Fold.
Action's over to our chip leader from East Falmouth, Massachusetts. Well, he's sitting with 5-4 of spades suited connectors and decides to limp in. This is really almost like deja vu.
Yeah, I mean, I could see you limping in with 2-3, but 4-5, I raise with that hand.
Well, either one of those hands, absolutely a situation where you're on the button, you are the chip leader, you should raise. Well, maybe he was clairvoyant. Ashley has a great hand, big slick ace-king in the big blind. She raises to 20,000.
They do call him the dancer.
Well, here it is. Let's see. I think that being in position and also having a huge chip stack, Stan will call, and now we're off to a flop. Ace of spades, 5 of diamonds, 3 of hearts, and actually a very interesting flop for both players. Obviously, Ashley has flopped top pair, top kicker, but Stan has flopped middle pair with a gut shot straight draw. I like Ashley's bet here of coming out for 35,000, not trying to slow play this, making sure that Stan has to pay if he's going to continue on with this hand.
It looks like Stan's had enough of Ashley, and he's going to call this bet.
Call.
Well, he's going to call the bet here. An ace of clubs on the turn gives Ashley a dominating situation in this hand. She's pushed all in. Well, Ashley has been definitely on a roll this session. She started out with only 30,000 in chips, only 3 times the big blind, and has now slowly built this all the way up to over 150,000 chips. Being one of the last 5, she is guaranteeing herself at least $1,750. And for a student and part-time worker, what a huge amount, and hopefully she can continue to increase that more and more. Well, we're back to the action, and Skip, our once chip leader, is on the button with Stan and Hugh in the blinds.
Now, Bernard, Ashley's demeanor has really changed here. She just seems more relaxed, more comfortable, and she has the chips to support that.
Well, obviously, winning hand after hand can definitely change that. She still hasn't drank any water, though.
Well, she's losing the bet. She's losing the prop bet on the water, so.
Well, she has decided to raise up to 30,000 with pocket sevens. Folded over to Stan in the small blind. 25,000 to call the bet.
He rubs his arm, and it tells him what to do. And his arm tells him to
Call.
Call.
Well, let's see if his arm is...
Now, Hugh looks upset about something here. I don't know exactly what it is, but he looks like he's steaming a little bit.
Fold.
Now, Hugh agonized over that laydown as Queen Jack. That's kind of a tight laydown. What do you think, Bernie?
Well, I think that in that scenario, he's definitely behind. He's going to have to hit it. Ironically, he does there. So he would have taken down a pretty decent pot. But I don't mind the laydown at all because you would assume somebody could have had you completely dominated. Well, it was a check-check on the flop with a 4 of diamonds on the turn. And
25.
you're going to have Stan lead out. Ashley's only got 3rd pair here. She doesn't have a diamond. It's a very, very interesting call. It's not that much, 25,000. It was under her original bet, and this could be slowly becoming a betting pattern tell off of Stan. If people have noticed early on, he raises 4 times when he has a hand, and he's betting a little bit less when he doesn't.
You also notice Stan, his posture. If you look, his hands are folded in front of him, which usually means that someone's not comfortable with a hand.
Well, he's bet 30,000, and this is a very smallish bet. This is either I really am begging you to call, or please get off of the hand. Ashley, I believe, is looking at this as maybe making a call. If he had made a bigger bet, maybe a 50 or 60,000 chip bet, I don't think Ashley can make the call because it's for pretty much half of her stack here. But this 4 and this 2, she firmly believes, did not help him at all.
I don't know if Ashley's looking at his face, but also his lips are pursed. He does not look happy or comfortable with his hand in any way. We'll see if she reads into that. Look at his demeanor. Look at his face. Looks like he just swallowed a lemon. And look at his shirt.
Well, Ashley makes a phenomenal call right here. Stan announces she has nothing, and the whole table is giving her props. That is a huge hand. She is now among the chip leaders right now. And as you can see, a smile from ear to ear. Ashley is making this final table worry about her and her play. She has been playing very well as of late.
Yep, her whole demeanor has changed. Everything has changed with her confidence level, and she's definitely a force to be reckoned with here.
When we return, we'll see if Ashley can take down the 4 boys remaining here at the Eastern Poker Tour's Tournament of Champions final table.
Visit EasternPokerTour.com to see how you can be at the next final table.
My strategy is usually try to win.
I think at this point, it's as others have said, it's all or nothing. So it'll be all in on the best card I got.
I play the same way, whether it's the first hand or the last hand.
I like to let the table dictate what I should be doing. Maybe if it's very aggressive, I'll play a little tighter. If it's real tight, maybe I'll loosen up a little bit.
The strategies I've used is pretty much just playing tight and conservative, kind of trying to read the table, see where everyone's at, position. I don't know, just kind of also go with like my gut feelings and instincts on some hands.
I don't know, just play my game, just play tight, wait for the cards.
There is no strategy. Blinds at 3,000, 6,000, which is 9,000. I have 45,000. I have one move, and there's no calling. There's no betting. It's I'll get my chips in good when it happens, though.
Well, with blinds still at 5,000 and 10,000, the button is now over at Stan with the blinds with Hugh and Ashley. Ashley, the final competitor remaining from Rhode Island. Stan, Hugh, and Bill, all from Massachusetts. And Skip, who was originally up here in the Northeast, moved down to North Carolina recently, drove all the way up to play in this event, has moved all in with Ace King of Clubs.
He's my horse. Go Skip. You can do this. Ace King, baby.
Well, my horse right now, Stan, is contemplating a call. He is the chip leader. He can afford the chips if he has a decent hand. He's picked up 8s. The race is going to be on between our 2 horses.
Let's go. I'll take Ace King.
Well, Skip can't be upset. The once chip leader is now facing the current chip leader in a very, very important race for both players. Well, they're both going to flip over their cards. Skip cannot be upset. At least it's not aces or kings, obviously, which is the only real hand that can dominate ace king.
Skip needs to control his emotions here. Way out of control.
We'll see if Stan can 8s can hold up, or will Skip's shirt dominate this matchup. Well, it has run the board, and unfortunately for Skip, he has been eliminated in 5th place.
A quick stop to the gift shop on his way out, and back to North Carolina. Skip goes. Skip, you're killing me, kid.
Well, your horse is down. Still my shot left with Stan. Congratulations to Skip for a good event, but I'm sure that he will look back at potentially regretting that ace-king versus aces hand.
Absolutely. That was an overshove there, and it really cost him about $400,000 in chips that he could have used to his advantage later on in the event. But great job, Skip.
Well, Stan Harding from Quincy, Massachusetts continues to build his chip lead as he is dominating here at the final table of the Eastern Poker Tour Tournament of Champions. Well, the action is over to Bill, and he folds. We are down to our final 4 players here. Stan on the button decides to let it go, and we have blind versus blind action with Hugh versus Ashley.
Now, Hugh's been really quiet up to this point. It looks like he's waited for another player to be knocked out. Maybe he's going to up his aggression.
Well, the final 4 players are all guaranteed $2,500. The next place is $3,500, a significant jump of $1,000. So everyone is going to be very wary of that pay scale. Hugh is limped in with 10-4 offsuit. Ashley has made the call. The flop comes down queen, king, king. And Hugh has shoved all in, continuing his initial raise.
He may have somewhere to be. It's tough to say. I mean, to shove right there is a really risky move on that board. Let's see if it works out.
Well, Ashley will lay it down, and that was a very, very good move by Hugh in the long run. As we said from the beginning of all the episodes, aggression is what wins tournaments, and right there, Hugh decided to turn up the aggression, and it worked out in his favor. Well, the blinds have increased to 6,000 and 12,000. We are again down to our final 4 players. Hugh is really kind of breathing a sigh of relief after taking that hand down versus Ashley. Bill is going to fold from the button, and we have another blind versus blind situation. As we mentioned before, aggression here is what's going to be able to take down these hands. You can see 2 very, very marginal hands in the small and big blind. If Bill had made a raise, obviously takes this down and picks up 18,000 plus chips. The flop comes out 3-8 king. Hugh has hit middle pair. However, Stan's going to continue here, and he's going to make a bet of 30,000.
I actually love the bet here, but I think Hugh has to watch Stan and his demeanor and the way, when he's playing a hand. Look at Stan. Hands are crossed, lips are pursed. He has to read into that to know that Stan has nothing in his hand.
Well, Stan has just bit his lip. If people are familiar with the book of Joe Navarro, book that is talking about tells, Read 'em and Reap, you would clearly be able to know that that is a tell of a sign of weakness.
I'll tell you, another sign after a hand is over for you out there is when everyone has a silly laugh at the end of a hand. That means it's almost like a relief that they won the hand. You know they had nothing.
Well, Stan jokingly said that you'll see it on TV, and if you saw it right there, he bluffed you off the hand, Hugh.
Hugh, when he says you'll see it on TV, he has nothing.
Stan here is on the button with blind 6 and 12,000, and he folds.
I call.
We are once again in a blind for blind situation. Hugh completes the bet with Jack 9 suited. Ashley, very surprisingly, with a huge hand, Ace 10 heads up, decides just to check her option.
Yeah, you really need to play the aggressive here with Ace 10 heads up and raise here.
Well, Ashley has flopped a monster. She flopped top pair with top draw for a flush, and she will take down this pot.
Ashley, tell him nothing. You are the silent assassin. Do not talk to him. Hugh trying to get information from Ashley, asking if she had spades. You need to be quiet here.
Well, blinds are 6,000 and 12,000, again down to our final 4.
Bill with a limp in early position with 4s. Once again, the passive play is amazing. He really needs to raise here and define his hand.
Well, Ashley's obviously going to check with a really marginal 5-3.
Come on in, Ashley. The water's warm.
The flop is Jack 3 Queen. Bill is going to come betting again for 30,000. Ashley's going to let it go. Again, it worked well and worked out for the players who are playing passively, but they are just asking themselves to get into trouble.
Yeah, they're flirting with disaster. Like you said, luckily Bill did escape. It was a great bet on the end.
We have said this before. We'll continue to say it. Aggression is going to win this tournament. So when we return, we'll see if this aggressive play continues and who will step up to try to become the winner of the Eastern Poker Tour Tournament of Champions Season number 4.
Visit EasternPokerTour.com to see how you can be at the next final table. Brought to you by Foxwoods Resort Casino, home of the WPT World Poker Room and Foxwoods World Poker Finals.